Well, San Diego is home to thousands of military families, but did you know many of them don't always have enough to eat?
That's right. Nationally, 1 in 4 military families need help affording food. That's where the San Diego Food Bank comes in. Tonight, we're joined by James Floros, the CEO of the Food Bank. James, welcome.
Thanks for having me in.
With rising prices at the grocery stores, it's no wonder that many of our military families need help. 1 in 4. I didn't realize the number was that high. Are you seeing still an increase?
Oh, absolutely. And that national statistic actually plays out pretty well here in San Diego County. We estimate that at a minimum, we're serving about 28,000 active duty military, their dependents and veterans every single month. But that's just with the nonprofits that are military based that we're working with. The cost of living in San Diego is tough. If you're single living on base, you're probably going to be okay, but you had a wife and a couple of kids, and now you're living below the poverty line.
And how many different areas are there where they can get the food from food banks? There's like, what, half a dozen or more?
Yeah, there's about 7 military-based profits that we partner with. So we're doing food distributions and working with them. And then we know that there's actually military personnel that also comes to our other distributions, our emergency food assistance programs. And that last year we distributed over 700,000 pounds of food to the military families.
Can all military families get assistance from the food bank, or are there certain qualifications or guidelines?
No, pretty much, especially with our emergency food assistance program. People show up, they're going to go home with food. So we don't get caught up in that. If you're in need, we want to make sure you get fed.
It's so disturbing that here in 2014, we still have so many people living in America that can't afford to put food on the table. And we've talked about over the years how the demographics of that are changing. These are a lot of people that are out of work as well as military families. What can people in San Diego do to help?
Well, a lot of different things. Obviously, they can go on the food bank website, SanDiegoFoodBank.org. They can host a food drive. They can come out to our warehouse and volunteer. And like with any nonprofit, money does reign supreme. We can take $1 and leverage that into 5 meals. So we're serving about 320,000 people every single month, and less than 10% of those people are homeless. So really, it's working poor, people who are struggling to get by and need more of a hand up than a hand out.
Mm-hmm. Following up on that question, how about donations? Are they coming in pretty good from the standpoint of suppliers and people you rely on to donate food? How does that stand?
Overall, we estimate about 1 in 6 people in San Diego County are food insecure. That's about 460,000 people. So we're hitting about 320,000 of those people every month. So those are numbers that are still not being met. So we need the community to come together, support their local food bank, and come and help us feed those in need.
These numbers are so disturbing. Is the problem getting worse or better?
I think the demand for our programs and services has never been greater. I mean, there are some other programs like CalFresh, which most people know as food stamps or SNAP, but those benefits have actually been cut. So there's a bad situation getting worse. So we really community to come and rally behind us and then help us serve those in need.
You mentioned food donations or food drives. Are there any coming up? Do you sponsor food drives? Your organization sponsor food drives, or is it out for the various charities to do this?
No, we're big at that. We just finished up our summer food drive, Schools Out, Hunger's Not summer food drive. November, December is a really big deal for us.
We have a lot coming up in November,
December.
That'll
be the holiday food drive. We'll hope to raise about 700,000 pounds during the holidays. People are more focused on those in need and hungry during the holidays, so we're hoping people will come out and support that.
And Jim, for people who are either watching right now or maybe families that are watching knowing of other people who need help from the food bank, what is the best way to get that help?
Well, people, if they are in dire need, they can go on our website. They call with emergency distributions. The other thing a lot of people aren't aware of is that we're working with about 350 nonprofit organizations. So if they know of a nonprofit that has a feeding program, more likely than not, they're getting the majority of their food from us. So those community groups, those grassroots groups, everything from the big ones, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul, all the way down to little church groups that have food pantries and everywhere in between.
All right. Good work.
Yeah.
Jim Floros, CEO of
support.
San Diego Food Bank. Thanks for being gracious.
Yeah, we'll have all the information on our KUSI website.
Well, if you take